What if I told you there was once a king who lived so long, fought so hard, and built so much that his people called him a god? A pharaoh who ruled not for decades, but for 66 years. A man whose battles shook empires, whose monuments still tower today, and whose very name made enemies tremble. This wasn't just any ruler. This was Ramses II, the greatest pharaoh of ancient Egypt. Or was he? Ramses wasn't born into an easy destiny. He was the son of Pharaoh Seti I, and from a young age, he was trained to fight, to command, to rule. By just 15 years old, he was already leading armies into battle. Imagine that. While most were still learning life, Ramses was already deciding life and death on the battlefield. When his father died, Ramses took the throne, and with it, he took a vision: to make Egypt immortal. But power is never secure. Egypt's enemies were many, and one name stood out above them all: the Hittites, a powerful empire in modern-day Turkey. Their clash with Ramses led to one of the most famous battles in history, the Battle of Kadesh. Ramses led thousands of chariots, the largest ever assembled at that time. At first, things went wrong. He was ambushed, surrounded, his army scattered. For a moment, it looked like Egypt's golden pharaoh would fall. But Ramses refused to die. Charging into the chaos, he rallied his men, fought back, and turned defeat into a miracle of survival. The battle ended not with victory, but with something even rarer: the world's first known peace treaty, signed between Egypt and the Hittites. A document that still exists today. But Ramses was not only a warrior. He was a builder. In fact, if you see a temple or statue in Egypt today, chances are Ramses had his name carved on it. He built the great temples of Abu Simbel, with colossal statues of himself staring out over the desert. He expanded Karnak. He built cities, monuments, and statues so massive they still overwhelm us today. Some say he wasn't just recording history. He was rewriting it, making sure no one could forget his name. But here's the question: was Ramses truly great or simply obsessed with glory? He fathered over 100 children. He placed his sons and daughters into power to secure his dynasty. He demanded to be remembered as a god. Even the Bible may echo his story. Many believe Ramses II was the pharaoh of the Exodus, the king who defied Moses and faced the plagues. Is it true? History leaves no clear answer, but the legend refuses to die. Ramses lived into his 90s, an almost impossible age for the ancient world. When he finally died, Egypt wept. He had outlived his enemies, his children, and even his monuments seemed eternal. But time is cruel. Egypt's power faded after his reign, and some whisper that Ramses, for all his glory, was the last truly great pharaoh. Today, you can still look into his face. His mummy rests in Cairo, and staring into those preserved features, you're not just seeing a corpse. You're staring into the eyes of a man who ruled the greatest empire of his age. A man who carved his name so deep into history, we still speak it thousands of years later. Ramses the Great, the warrior pharaoh, the god king. So who was Ramses II? A warrior? A builder? A god on earth? Or just a man who refused to be forgotten? One thing is certain: he remains the symbol of Egypt's golden age, a reminder that power fades, but legacy lasts forever. And in our next episode, we turn to one of the strangest pharaohs in history, kings, abandoned its gods, and built a city to worship one alone, a visionary or a madman. His story is unlike any other. This is Dusk End Times, where history lives forever.